everybody, it's Christine. It's time for Scraplift Crafternoon. And if I've done this correctly, you're going to actually see this as the second video today because it's not the 30 Days of Sketches video, but it is my Scraplift Crafternoon. And y'all, I'm honestly kind of proud of myself because I am cheating. But I have to get stuff done, and so I'm trying to be smart. And I'm trying to use papers and stuff. So I have a ton of Vicki Boutin. First, sorry, let me back up. So here's our layout that we're scrap lifting. It's by Chamel 22. And she has, I'm going to say she's probably like stamped all this stuff here, right? She's got these little circly bits. And then maybe she's stamped a little ring on the top of them. It looks like maybe distressed oxide was used because she does have, you know, kind of cool looking water droplet-y things. And then she's come off with some mixed media up in here. Now she has this cool, but just tons of layers. If I had to guess, this looks like maybe Vicki Boutin as well, so maybe I'm not too far off. She has a rosette in there. I'm going to have to think about this. Tara sent me some rosettes. I'm going to see if she has anything that works. But let me show you what I got going on. There's just tons of little goodies kind of in this corner over here. So what I have, y'all, is I'm really proud of myself. I'm kind of cheating. Like I said, there's this paper from Print Shop that's these circles. And I'm kind of imagining I'm going to do something like this. I know that this is not the right direction, but I don't care. Because my flowers are all kind of here, and I'm thinking I'm going to use this as my little cluster. So I'll probably end up tearing this or something like that so that I can kind of make it a little more organically coming off of here. I have to find some mixed media. I'm not really sure what color I might use yet. So it's going to look a little different, but that's okay. And then I have all that Vicki Boutin, hang on, all this Vicki Boutin stuff here. I have this entire ginormous bag, so I can use that. And then my picture is a little... it was a modeling picture my daughter took. She had a photo shoot or something. But I thought it was pretty because it has those red flowers. And I thought that might look kind of cool down there. So that's what I'm starting with, y'all. Let me do a little digging to see if the rosette's going to work. I don't know for sure, like on my colors. And then if not, I will start getting this papers and stuff ready. All right, come back on soon.
Oh, y'all, this layout turned out so cool. I'm not going to lie. I think it's neat. I actually did more mixed media than I thought I might initially. Okay, so I've trimmed up my branding strip, and I'm taking my little green circles here, and I'm going to tear this. And what I ended up deciding to do, because on the lift, it's kind of like, I think she used a stencil, so it kind of fades in, right, to the right-hand side. So what I decided to do here is I pulled out some white gesso, which, y'all, I never do that. Like, never. And I have this whole big old bottle. And I decided I'm going to paint over the edge of this circle paper to kind of make it fade in to the other paper. So I got my gesso, and I'm going to decide just a second. Oh, I can't put that, but just right on there. So I'm going to get my craft mat. I'm going to put this gesso on here and add a little water to kind of thin it. And then I'm going to paint it on the right-hand side of that circle paper. And I love how this turns out. It looks really neat. It kind of gives me the sense of the one on the lift, right? It kind of fades into the paper. Now, it does buckle the paper just a little bit, I guess because of the water. Y'all, again, I don't use much of mixed media, so I don't really know the right techniques many times. But do you see this? It's going to take me just a second. And I'm going to end up pulling out the packaging technique, too, because I've got this little sponge brush. And I'm trying to make it kind of just fade in or whatever. But I'm going to end up having to take the packaging technique and just kind of mush the paint to make it kind of... like, again, just I'm trying to create, I don't want lines, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really want it to have lines where the paint's starting and the, paper is or whatever. So I use packaging to kind of smooth that stuff out. And I really like how this turns out. Like I said, it does look kind of, in my mind, it looks like it's kind of fading into the other paper. So I like it. I try to use a little glue here. I'm not going to lie, it was still kind of wet. So it wasn't terribly successful, but... that's okay. I end up straightening it up and everything. It turns out okay, but I just definitely was like, oh, shoot, that's not going to work. So I'm trying to just push that down. So that's okay. I'm going to have to go away for just a minute, let this dry, because it's definitely not going to be, usable at the moment. So this is kind of dried. And so what I did instead, she looked like she might have stamped little circles over her stencil circles. I'm not really sure how she did that. I don't think there's a video on this one, actually. The ladies were kind of commenting that there's not one. So I'm not 100% sure how she did it. So I just took a pen and just kind of drew circles around some of these circles. I did one line first, and then I come back and I'll do a second line. I don't really mind if it's, a little wonky looking because it's supposed to kind of be handwritten and organic looking. So I do add these little circles here, and I think this looks kind of neat. I mean, I'm not even sad about it. And then I dug into my rosettes. You'll see this in just a minute. So Tara she felt sorry for me. We had done a challenge, a layout. I don't know which month it was now. It's been a few months back now, and there was rosettes all in the layout. And y'all, I think it was June now that I think about it. If you want to, you can go back and look in June last year. And there's a layout where I do let rosettes, and y'all, that was just a hot mess. It was just a hot mess. My daughter had to help me. It didn't turn out I mean, it was funny, but it was like, I was like, oh my gosh. So she sent me a whole bag of rosettes. And now you can see that one laying there, and it's kind of this reddish color with a little yellowish button. So it was the perfect color to fit in here. Now the one in the lift was much bigger. It was way bigger, but I'm going to make this work. This is okay. I don't mind using it this way. And I think this turns out really cute. So I have mounted my photo on like the little peachy polka dotty paper and black cardstock. And I mounted that, and then I'm going to end up using foam, and I'll double layer that because that rosette is quite dimensional. So I've got 2 pieces of foam here that I've raised my photo up on. So this becomes kind of a nice dimensional layout here. I've done that part because in my mind, I did use, by the way, glossy accents to put that rosette down there. You can use wet glue or something like that. You just need something a little bit strong to hold something that big. So I've decided the title's just photo. I think that looks great. I will end up shifting it just a little because once I start adding a few little layery pieces, I end up covering up my little photo just a tad there. So I'll end up moving that, but it's no big deal. And then I have all this ephemera stuff. There was one little picture frame die cut. I don't remember which collection this is from. I have all my Vicky Bouton kind of mixed in, if I'm honest. I have like a print shop. I have some Fernwood. I have some from older collections, but they tend to all kind of go together. Well, some of the colors tend to be a little brighter than others or whatever, so you have to be a little bit careful, but they kind of can all go together. So I don't know which particular collection that little frame came from, but I found that one, and I put that on the picture. Now I have this little iris box full of... I think that might have all been print shop, to be honest, but I think I'm kind of mixing this up now at this point. There's a butterfly in there, which kind of works out because the lift had a big old butterfly. And I pulled out a bunch of little pieces here now, y'all. I didn't make y'all sit and watch me sort through because I literally have so much of it. But I pulled this little piece that's kind of like a side, or like a little note, look, a couple little pieces of notepads or something like that. And I'll stick that on the side. And I did find a little like binder clip looking thing I'm going to use. It takes me a minute to figure that out in just a second because my picture's so high up in the air, but the binder clip's little top is so skinny. I didn't really know how to make that work and it be entirely lifted. So I'm going to end up making the top glue down, and it looks kind of bent or whatever, but I think that looks okay. I did have a couple of leaves there. I found a little frame in my ephemera stuff, so I've kind of put that in there. Y'all, this isn't exactly like the lift. I mean, she had little tickety things, and she had just all different things. And so my approach here was just to kind of use all different things. And then I also had those flowers printed on the paper. I really didn't want to cover them all up. So I tried to just incorporate the flowers like into the layery bits and the clusters and stuff like that. So yeah, that's, again, it's not exactly like the lift, but I think it gives you the same feeling where there's all these layery bits and stuff. So I do take my little butterfly up there. I'm going to put a little foam on the top of the wings, and I'll use Nuvo glue on the other pieces. And he's going to get glued down up there. I was kind of pleased to find that. I thought, oh, look here, I got a little butterfly, and she's got a little butterfly, so I'll put that up there. I think my cluster is kind of like size-wise expands out into the layout a little bit more than hers did. And the only other thing that's kind of real different is that blue, like, it's printed on the papers. There's not a darn thing I can do about it. It's that blue kind of stripe with the little polka dots. She didn't have that, obviously. There's no stripe on hers. But I don't think that looks bad. I think it looks kind of neat. It kind of goes down into your cluster there. So I like it. I think it's pretty. I added another little piece of greenery. I think she had a little piece of greenery coming up on that right-hand side. And then there was this little round, another little round frame looking thing that I stick on here. And I'm just kind of, I ended up covering up my little flower just a little bit, kind of more than I wished I could have, but it's all right. I'm going to put a little foam at the top of this little, like, tag looking thing. I do have a little floral, and then I have one little square piece that says focus on the positive, and she had some little phrases down there, so that's kind of why I went looking for that. And then I do use 2 pieces of little chipboard, and you'll see me get into that in just a second. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm just gluing everything down, y'all. I hate to like leave this in, but at the same time, you need to see all the pieces, right? So hopefully y'all are not too terribly bored watching me just glue this stuff down here. I think I got that little I did pull off a little phrase off a sticker sheet, and it says, "It's all in how you look at things." I think that's really pretty. And that's kind of how she says that all the time. She says all the time, perspective, right? She says an interesting thing too. Think about this one. She says, fear is the flip side of excitement. Like, it's basically the same coin, but fear is just the flip side, and you just flip it over and you're excited, not afraid, right? So if you think about something you're afraid of, if you tell yourself, no, I'm excited about it, it's kind of gives you a different little mental picture, right? So she's all about perspective, and this little phrase was kind of perfect there. I'm looking at this chipboard. I was various different kinds, y'all. I have all these pieces. And I find this little chipboard piece that says special, and also like just a random little leaf, and I stick that down there. I just wanted a little dimension over there because it was so dimensional where the photo is, and a little flat onto the right-hand side, so I just add that leaf. So here's the slowdown. I think this turned out so pretty. I'm actually really happy with this, and even with my mixed media. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist. And we always have like a link to the original. I think this was off of Instagram, to be honest, but I'm not 100% sure anymore. Anyways, I've slept since then. Y'all have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow because I'm doing 30 days of sketches, and see you soon. Bye.